This is Alternative Political Analysis, and I'll give you an update on Donald Trump's cabinet. Andy Putzer, the CEO of CKE Restaurants, has been made Labour Secretary. He authored a Missouri law that was upheld in Webster versus Reproductive Health Services, and this was upheld by the Supreme Court that state funds should not go towards abortion. That's to be welcomed. However, Putzer opposes the Fight for 15, which is a campaign to get a minimum wage of $15 an hour in the United States. He favours increased automation, which would put more people in the manufacturing industry out of a job. He headed the largest corporate legal department at Fidelity National Financial, and it should be noted that his company makes $1.4 billion a year. And that brings us on to Homeland Security, which is now headed by John Kelly, a Marine who has experience from Desert Storm and Operation Iraqi Liberation. He was commanding officer during the Los Angeles riots. His son died while in combat in the Afghanistan war. And that brings us on to the UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, real name Nimrata Randhawa. She is the South Carolina governor. She has a strong anti-immigration stance, despite the fact her parents were from Punjab. She is pro-life. She was re-elected to keep the battle flag on state grounds. However, she reversed this position after the horrors of the Charleston massacre. She is pro-LGBTQ. She is also pro-Zionist to the point that she signed into South Carolina law a law restricting the activities of the Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions campaign, which is a pro-Palestinian campaign against the Zionist state of Medinat Israel. She supports voter suppression through strong photographic identification laws. And that brings us on to the deplorable Scott Pruitt, who is now head of the EPA, which is ironic given his past record. He manages Oklahoma Red Hawks, which saw a 45% increase in revenue under his management, and they now hold the minor league baseball attendance record. He has sued Obama on immigration. He has sued Obama on Dodd-Frank, which is light touch financial regulation, which didn't amount to anywhere near the amount of regulation that was required under Glass-Steagall. He has sued Obama on the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. He has sued to block the Clean Power Plan. He is also sued against the Waters of the United States rule, and to date he has sued the EPA on at least 4 occasions. This is the department he is now the head of. A more welcome lawsuit was his effort to get abortion pills banned. He sued California for banning the sale of battery eggs, so he's not exactly pro-chicken either. And he is a big oil climate change denier on behalf of ExxonMobil. He supports religion in schools, and that sums up Scott Pruitt. But now we move on to Linda McMahon, who is now in charge of the Small Business Department. Linda is of course Vince's wife, and Vince of course is a good friend of Donald Trump, and she grew WWE into a massive corporation from a small regional business in New York. And basically during her time at WWE, WWE, there was an investigation for steroid abuse after the death of Chris Benoit, and during that investigation, she tipped off Patterson to fire George Zahorian. George Zahorian, of course, was the doctor who administered the steroids. And to conclude, Linda McMahon is also a supporter of the Special Olympics.